Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the first episode in Read It or Unhaul It. I've seen a couple creators do this and I want to do it because my TBR is not big, but it's kind of at the point where the books have been on there long enough that I'm like, am I ever going to read these or do I just need to unhaul them? So I figured this would be a perfect time. So I've made a jar with all the books. I have a couple books in mind that I would like to pull and I would like not to pull, but I'm not going to say them out loud just in case if that speaks them into existence. So let's go. I'm going to give it a good one. Okay, I'm really nervous. I'm like so nervous. I don't do well with stuff like this, but I'm going to let you guys see it first. Okay, that is this book right here. Back when I used to do books to screen, this was one of those choices. So I don't really know what this is about. I'm thinking I think it's a science fiction thriller. It's pretty short, which is great for me. So let's get started on Foe. I look like a drowned rat, and that's because I literally just got out of the shower. But hi, I have reading updates. I am about halfway through this book. I have read this very quickly, but this is also a very short book. It's only 260 pages. Easy to just sit down and read because the chapters are super short, which I love. Let me tell you what this book is about. Following this young couple named Henrietta and Junior, they met one day and Junior instantly knew that was his wife, and they got married shortly after meeting, and they live basically in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where, they don't say. And one day this car comes up the driveway and it ends up being someone from the government. His name is Terrence, and he is part of this organization that is doing a study out in space. And he says, you've been selected to be on the list, like the long list, to eventually go to space and like live there for a while and like be studied. They're like, okay. And he's like, well, actually only Junior is, not you, Henrietta. So after that first visit, the wife starts acting very strange, very weird, not like herself, and it takes her weeks to get back to her normal self. 2 years go by, he comes back again and is like, you're on the short list, like things are moving quickly, pretty much you are gonna go to space. I can't say yes or no, but like you pretty much are. And then he comes back a couple days later and is like, it's happening, you're going. And so he is kind of explaining this whole thing, and he has to stay at the house to like study Junior and like his day-to-day movements because they're building some type of prototype to keep Henrietta company when he's gone, because he's gonna be gone for like years, I guess. Stuff just starts happening. It's very odd. I don't really know, like, is the point of this book, like what's the thriller, because this is a psychological thriller. What's gonna happen, because it hasn't really been like a thriller so far. Like it's kind of just, you're just following them, and like this guy visits, like each time he visits you're just following them, and you're getting to know like Junior because you're reading it from Junior's perspective and like what's going on in his head. And that's pretty much it. There's 3 parts in this book, and the next part I think is like when it actually like happens, the thing happens, like him going to space. Well, at least I would assume so. I'm not 100% sure if he's actually gonna go. That's pretty much the gist of the book. This book is written very weird because there's no like chapter titles. It's not like chapter 1, chapter 2, or like this chapter is called this. And there's also like when Junior talks, there's no quotation marks around his, like him talking. Other people have quotation marks, but not him. It's giving very much Sally Rooney vibes how this is written. So I'm gonna finish the rest of this right now because I actually ended up borrowing this from my library so I could read it in bed. And according to Kindle, I have an hour and 26 minutes left. I think I'll probably finish it quicker than that because it's, like I said, pretty easy to read, very short chapters. Things go by fast because you kind of just want to know what the hell is going on. So there's my thoughts on that. When I finish this, we'll come back, rate it and all that, and then we'll pick another book. Hi guys, it's a little bit later. I just finished Foe. I don't know what to rate it because I didn't hate it, but it was not what I thought it was gonna be. Like this says it's a psychological like thriller. I don't think that is. There was 2 twists in this book. The big twist that was revealed, I guessed it. It was very easy and it makes sense why the author did certain things. I'm obviously not going to say that because it would give it away. It makes sense for the twist, for this last twist that happens in the book. That is not really outright said what happened, but like you can tell from the way this thing happened in the first book, or in the first half of the book before the twist was revealed. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, it was just a very interesting read. I don't think I've read anything like this. I'd say this is a science fiction mystery. I'm curious to see what this looks like as a movie. This is set in the future. I gathered that. Cars drive themselves and they have screens, not phones, which I don't really know what a screen looks like. I'm just imagining everyone walking around with an iPad Pro. I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.5, but this means we have successfully finished our first book this video, and now let's go choose a second book, which I'm really excited. If you can hear running water, it's my fish tank. I'm really sorry. We're here in front of the bookshelves. Have my jar. I'm hoping for a good read. Please, 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 please. Something good. Something good. I'm gonna let you guys see it first. The Nightingale. Ooh! The Nightingale by Chris and Hannah. This is a big book. 564. Okay. I mean, I wasn't exactly hoping for a big book like this, but this is a very newly added book to my TBR, so I really wasn't expecting this right away, but I will roll with it, and we're gonna start The Nightingale. I'm gonna see if this is anywhere on my like library or Kindle or somewhere, because I don't want to carry this around with me. So let's go do that, and I'm gonna start this book when I hop into bed, so not yet, but pretty soon. Guys, I have read half of this book and I forgot to update you guys. It is now, the day doesn't matter. I picked this book up and I have not read a lot of historical fictions in my life. Actually, quite frankly, I can't think of one historical fiction I've read. I know I've read them, but I don't retain them. So I was very nervous going into this one because this is not a genre I'm comfortable with, nor do I choose this genre a lot. But I know this is a beloved book of Kristen Hanna's and it's being made into a movie, and I just know it had to be good. I've read Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Can't even describe what that book did to me. I absolutely love that book, and ever since that book I've been wanting to pick up more Kristen Hanna books. Bought this one because this was next on my list and had no idea what to expect. I didn't even read the synopsis. Like, I had no idea what this is about, except I knew it had to do with World War II and it's historical fiction. That's literally all I knew. So let me tell you a little bit what this book is about. In this book, you're following the tale of two sisters who were separated by a decade. The one is 10 years old. The older sister is named Vianne. The younger sister is named Isabel. And when they were younger, their mother unfortunately passed away, and so their father kind of shipped them off to someone. I think it was it their grandma? Someone in the family shipped them off into the countryside of France, and something happens. The two sisters are separated, and so Vianne falls in love, has a child pretty young, and her father like disowns her. The Isabel, the younger sibling, is kind of the rebel child. She's that youngest sibling syndrome. She is very outspoken, is very much sure of herself, wants to change the world, yada yada yada. And so when the Nazis invade, Isabel is like, no, I'm gonna do something about it. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to give anything else away. But oh my god, this is truly a story of women. First off, women are the sole focus of this book. I don't know how accurate this book is when it comes to the World War II. Like, I'm not a history buff. Like, history was not my best subject, but it's just truly inspiring to see how these women basically like ran the country. To see the women of France kind of bind together and just do what needs to be done and be very strong. Honestly, women are so strong and powerful, and it's about damn time the world recognizes how strong we are as women, and this book is definitely like a reflection on how strong a woman is, especially when it comes to their love for their family, their friends, like everything around them. And this is also a tale about sisters and how a kind of a strange sibling relationship is, and how that doesn't really matter when it comes down to it and all that. And then also just like what one would do for one's family, what one would do for one's country that they love, and that they don't want to see this awful thing happen to it, and just finding oneself and their purpose for life too. And love too is a big thing, a big center of this book too. Love the relationships, the friendships, like, so I basically cannot put this book down at all, and I feel like this is going to be one of my top favorite reads of the year, and I'm so glad I'm reading it towards the end of the year because it will be fresh in my mind for when I do like that recap. I think this is potential to be one of my favorite reads, and I really want to recommend this book to people. So if you're looking for a book and The Nightingale has been on your radar but you've been scared to pick it up, don't be scared. Please pick it up. It is so worth it. So I am now on chapter 21, page 305. So I'm about to hop into bed and read some more of this. If you can tell, but I just finished The Nightingale. Literally sobbed. I'm left speechless. Like, this book is so good and I need everyone to pick this book up. Like, I understand why this book is like one of the best historical fiction books like to be rated. I get it, and it's unforgettable, truly unforgettable, and these characters, this story will stay with me forever, and it's truly a book about love and what one would do for love and for the people they love, and it's just like, wow. So 5 stars, amazing. It's time to pick our next book. Potentially this is the last book of this vlog. We'll see though. We'll see. I got 2. Oh, okay, I have to reshake. I hate when I get 2 because I never know. It's just not a good feeling when I pick 2. Is that just 1? It doesn't feel right. Okay. Oh, okay. It's gonna open. What does that say? Survive the Night. Okay. Okay. This is the next book, Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This has been on my TBR for so long now. My best friend Brie got this for me as a birthday present. 2022, 2 years ago. I have no idea what this is about. I know a lot of people don't like this one from Riley Sager, so we'll see. I'm curious. Let's start this book. Hi friends, I have been reading Survive the Night and I figured I'd update you guys. Also, if you hear someone chowing down, it's Wyatt. He's chowing down on his dinner. So I picked this up a little bit the same night I chose it out of the jar, but I didn't really pick this up like to really read it until yesterday. So I am 83 pages into this book. Let me just tell you what this book is about so far. So this takes place in 1991, so the 90s. Following this girl named Charlie who's in college and she's been struggling and she is dropping out of college to go back home, and she gets a ride from this guy named Josh who they have like a ride board where like strangers, if they're going someplace, they like offer rides. So she hitches a ride with him and they're going to Ohio, which funny enough this takes place in Ohio because I live in Ohio. Well, I guess the one thing you should know is there's been a serial killer on campus and the serial killer ended up killing her best friend Maddie, and so that's kind of what triggered this, not kind of, but that is what triggered the really hard time in college. Her mental health hasn't been great, and so she just wants to get out of there. She loves movies too. She's had a very hard life. Both of her parents have died. She grew up with her grandma, basically introduced her to the world of film, and she loves movies. She's going for film theory. That's her degree, and she loves her degree, but she just can't be there at college anymore. So she has this ride with this stranger, and the whole time she's getting weird vibes with it, but also her mind plays tricks on her. She has hallucinations. She calls them movies in her head, but she hallucinates a lot of things. So far, I've not really been enjoying this book. I am not a huge Riley Sager fan. I was watching TikTok and someone, I cannot remember the creator's name, but if I remember her name, I'll put her video up on screen. But she was saying, she's like, you know how Coho is the Coho of romance, and she was saying Sarah J Maas is the Coho of fantasy and all that, and then she said Riley Sager is the Coho of horror books, and if you get it, you get it. I get it, and that made so much sense to me. I'm like, this is why I'm not really a fan of Riley Sager, because I don't like Colleen Hoover writing. So it only makes sense. But I do like SJM. Me and Riley Sager have an interesting history. I've read Final Girls by him, hated it. I read his later releases, Across the Lake. There's one other one. Is it The Only One Left, where it's like she's a caregiver? I've read that. I really, really liked that one. And then what was his new release? I hated his new release. Middle of the Night. Hated that new release. I'm just not liking this book a lot, and I know this book got a lot of awful reviews. Like, a lot of people hate this book, and I'm beginning to understand why, because this entire book takes place in the car ride, I'm assuming, home. Like a 6-hour car ride is the span of this book, and I'm not really a fan of books like that unless they're done like super, super well. Like what was Taylor Adams' book where it was, oh, was it No Exit? I think it was No Exit. They have to be done so well and grip me in. I am just bored with this book. And I posted on Fable about like my thoughts, and people are like, oh, there's like a twist at the end I didn't see coming, and it gets so much better. So I'm gonna give it a fair chance. Plus this is a really short book, but I'm gonna sit here and read for a little bit because it is currently 3:47. My dinner's in the crock pot, and it's not gonna be ready till like 6, so I have a minute to read. So I'm gonna read. I'm hoping to read maybe 100 pages before dinner so I can get a good chunk of this done and come back and give you more thoughts about it. So let's get to reading. Good morning, guys. Sorry about this angle, sorry about this lighting, but it is literally 6:17 in the morning, and I finished Survive the Night last night. I'm not gonna go over my thoughts right now because my brain is still waking up. I just wanted to draw another book because I like to read in the morning with my breakfast, so that's what we're gonna do right now. This is gonna be the last book for this video. I think 4 is a great number. Please give me a good one. This one. I'm always scared to do this. What does it say? What does it say? Is it focused on it? Probably not. A Winter's Promise. That's this one right here. This took me forever to find because I didn't think this is what this is called, but this is the start of a new series. This bad boy is 483 pages long. Let's get to reading. I'm here with updates. Also, if you can hear running water, it's my fish tank. Sad update. I am DNFing this book. I got a quarter of the way through, 131 pages, and I can't even tell you what is going on in this book. I have no idea. It went right over my head. It's very confusing. The world is confusing. It's not really explained. Also, every single character you meet is insufferable. I've heard such great reviews about this book, how it's so magical, whimsical, like it's really good, but I'm just not seeing that. So instead of me being miserable trying to finish this, I'm DNFing it, which means I will also be DNFing the second book. So 2 books are off the TBR, which is really sad because I bought these. They're gonna go to a new home, so those are being off. Let's just draw another book. So I'm hoping for a really easy book. I'm kind of in the mood for a romance, like a silly, goofy time, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's been a couple of stressful days, and today I just want to escape into a fantasy world. So we've got one. Oh God, please be a good book. Like, I think I'll cry if it's a bad book. Dating You, Hating You. Oh, I don't want to read it. It's a Christina Lauren book, but I have fallen out of love with Christina Lauren's books. Like, I don't really read them anymore, so I think this might be a DNF. Let's draw again. We're gonna draw again. I know this is technically cheating, but I have a book in mind, and it's not that. So, ooh, this looks like one of the ones I just put in here. If this is a book I just put in here, I don't really want to read this either. I literally just put this in here. It's Sally Rooney's newest book. I just got this in the mail from Book of the Month. Intermezzo, and I'm not in the mood for this. So we're gonna draw one more time. This is cheating. It's my video, my rules. I can make it up as we go. And I guess whatever book I get now, we'll just choose between the 3 of them and see which one is more the vibe. What does that say? You know what? We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it. It's House of Marionne, whatever. It's this book. I've not heard anyone talk about it, but Stephanie Garber blurbed it and said, dazzling and deceptive, the perfect escape. I don't even know what this book is about. I'm guessing it's a YA because it says 17-year-old Quell has lived her entire life on the run. She and her mother had fled from city to city in order to hide the deadly magic that flows through Quell's veins until someone discovers her dark secret. To hide from the assassin hunting her. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna read this. No, I don't need to read anymore, but I think this is gonna be the mood. Okay. Let's go read. Please ignore this lighting. It's currently 6:30 in the morning, but I have some reading update. So I started House of Marionne and I'm just not liking it. It's a YA fantasy and it's kind of like a debutante but based at a school, and they have like classes they have to go to, and I'm just not really a big enchanted school person anymore because I've been out of school for so long and I just don't care, and I particularly don't like school. I was already not liking it, and then stuff isn't being explained. It's slow, so I'm just gonna DNF it again. So that makes 2 DNFs this video, which is so sad, but this technically this is cheating, but I was already currently reading this throughout the month of October. I put it down several times because I've had videos to film. So I think I'm just gonna pick this up and read it. I'm 135 pages into this book and I really like this book. So this book said it was YA, but I think it's more new adult from what I'm gathering, and it's called The Dagger and the Flame. Sorry. You are following 2 characters. You get 2 different POVs. You're following Seraphine, who had just lost her mother, and she is also being tracked by this guy named Ransom, but she doesn't know that. In this world, there are 2 rival gangs called the Cloaks and the Daggers. The Cloaks are kind of the people who just steal and use what is called shade, which is their magic in this world, and they infuse it in their cloaks and their gloves and stuff like that to become invisible. The Daggers are hitmen, basically. They are assassins. They use shade and they ingest it, so it makes them very, very powerful and like unbeatable. And so her mom got killed by the Daggers and she's on a run, and she goes to a safe house, and it ends up being the Cloaks. So she a part of the Cloaks, and Ransom is a very well-known member of the Daggers, and he has been assigned to kill her. And that's basically all I know so far. There's really not much explained as to like why he has to kill her or why her mom died, but it's kind of like a cat and mouse game, I think, is kind of what this is setting up to be. But I am excited. It says, in a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake of all is falling in love. So I'm guessing enemies to lovers, which is gonna be good, but I'm enjoying this. I very much have been itching for this type of book. Also, look at my bookmark. This is aggressively reading, and it's got a tassel. I love it. Okay, I just wanted to give this quick little update before I read it anymore, because I feel like I've been sucking at updating this vlog, because I'll be like, yeah, I'm starting this book, and then I finish the book, and then I'm like, so I will definitely update more throughout the vlog with this book. This freaking book. Y'all need to get into this book, okay? Y'all need to read this book right now. I am halfway through this book, and I'm obsessed. Like, oh, it's so good, you guys. It is so good. There was a scene where, so the Cloaks and the Daggers don't really interact. They're not allowed to go after each other. That's like in the law. And of course, now that our main female character is a Cloak, but yet she still has a dagger coming after her because that's his mark. She's his mark. There's a moment where like the groups had to meet, and she was hiding around the corner because she wasn't supposed to be there, but she was nosy and wanted to know what's going on. He saw her and he mouthed, "I'm going to kill you." And he said, except he said F it. He said, I'm gonna. Why? What is wrong in my brain that finds that so hot? What is wrong? Can someone tell me what is wrong in my brain that I think that is just so hot? Like, there's something wrong with me. 225 pages in this book. How long is this book? Like 400 pages? Maybe I'm not halfway through this. Literally $4.99. I'm gonna continue reading for a little bit. It is 7:37 on a Friday. It's Friday, guys. Let's continue reading. Guys, It's currently very early in the morning. Like, I'm talking still dark outside, early. And I've just been sat reading The Dagger and the Flame, and a twist just happened. I don't know. I'm kind of worried. But also there was this line that Ransom internally thought, like his inner monologue said, and it was, Seraphine was Spitfire and Ransom wanted to burn. The only thing I will have to say about this book that is kind of throwing me off is they don't spend a ton of time together. So when feelings are developing, you're kind of like, okay, well, where did these come from? Because it's kind of been like a cat and mouse game. Now, I mean, they have interacted, but the little moments they've interacted, it hasn't been that long. Like, they're not together for that long. Also, I think it may be more of like an attraction thing rather than like, oh, I really, really like this person kind of thing. But he's kind of obsessed with her. Like, he wants to, like, you know. So that is literally the only thing that's throwing me off in this book that I'm not really loving. I wish there was essentially more with them, and so we get that connection from them. But also I understand why they can't be together, because they're from opposite gangs and he has a mark on her, so basically he has to kill her, but every time he's with her he doesn't want to. Like, something keeps preventing him from killing her. Like, he does not want to kill her at all. So I think I'm 310 pages in. This book is 500 pages. Well, almost. It's $4.99. So I'm getting closer to the end. It reads really quick, I will say that, which I'm glad for. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll probably come back when I finish the book, since I'm close to finishing it. I finished it. Guys, this book was so good. It was a fun time and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's super easy to read and digest and to understand what's going on in the magic system, the world, the characters. So good. You get dual POVs, enemies to lovers, kind of. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away because I feel like it would spoil the ending, but oh my god, this. And here's the thing is, there's only one scene that something like really happens, like it goes beyond something, and I appreciate that because I'm not one for smut. Now this is, I think, YA, but I would say this is more new adult. It reads like a new adult with like this suggestive dialogue. And like I was saying before, how like there was kind of really no lead up with the romance. I do agree with that because it's kind of from the first moment that these characters touch. Like, I mean, like he has like a knife to her throat, like want to kill her. She's like instantly like, I can't stop thinking about him. I wish there was more like hate before the full on like, oh, I really like this man happens. But other than that, I really liked it. But for that, I am going to take off a 0.5 star. So this was going to be a 5-star read for me. It was reading like a 5-star, but I think I'm going to do a 4.5. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was the first read it or unhaul it, and I would say it's very successful. I have loads more on my TBR to get to, so look forward to these in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to be kind to yourself and to others around you, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.